Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I'd like to tell you a story that started February the 9th, 2019. However, to make ready for this day, I began preparing for that day the day before. Picked out my outfit, hung it up, pressed it, hung it where it would not get wrinkled, made sure that everything was perfect. I got up early, and actually getting up early, I didn't really sleep much because of what I was expecting to happen the next day. But I got up early, I got dressed, and I began my journey. I got in my car, programmed my GPS, which is my global positioning system. It's wired to my car, so there's no need for an update. So I'm in my car, ready to go. As I begin to go, I'm traveling, I'm on the freeway, and it said, veer left. This left. I wasn't quite sure because there was a fork in the road, and left, there were two lefts. I know that's kind of hard to picture, but there were two lefts. And I wasn't sure which one that I should take because I had never been at this place before. Well, I took the left that I thought was the best left, and in reality, it was the wrong left. The fork in the road or the split in the road confused me. But I said, well, you know what? Global positioning systems will always do. Recalculate. I didn't have an audible sound because I was listening to my music. I just had to watch on my console. But then she began to talk and give me additional directions, so I was able to make it to a spot past where I needed to be. So I'm continuing to go, and I acquiesced. But at the same time, I was questioning, am I going to make my destination in time? That became my concern. So I pulled over and grabbed my phone to look for a number of a trusted friend that would be able to at least receive the information that I was on my way. For whatever reason, the update in my phone had cleared my contacts. Got back on the road, making my journey, and I said, it'll be okay. I kept looking at the clock, traveling, looking at the clock, traveling. And at this point, I am getting concerned. I'm hoping for a phone call. I'm anticipating somebody's going to reach out to me and let me know, you're late. Where are you? That didn't happen. I continued on my journey, but then my GPS did something. It said to me, you have reached your destination. When in reality, I had not reached my destination. I looked to the left and I looked to the right because see, what I had done in my preparation is that I had looked on Google and got an image of where I should be. To the left, there were beautiful trees because the weather was really nice that day. To the right, I'll never forget the picket fence with 3 sheep wandering in the grass. What do I do? I had somewhere to be. I was already past the time. My heart said, keep going a little bit further. My mind said, you're lost. I turned right, hoping that my GPS would somehow catch up and put me where I needed to be. But at that point, my GPS kept saying, turn left, turn left, turn left, turn left, until it got me back to the place where it said, you have reached your destination. How dreadful. I decided that I must have done something wrong in programming my GPS. I went back to the left, parked in a Wendy's parking lot, checked my GPS, and I had in fact put in the right address. Something was wrong. At this point, I'm flagging down anybody that would stop at a light. I'm lost. Can you tell me where this place is? Nobody had an answer. I have no idea. I have no idea. Well, little did I know that I was supposed to be in Powell. And I was in Powell for a very short minute. But by turning left, I ended up in Dublin. And there are two addresses, identical, one in Powell and one in Dublin. So because I had veered left, again, trying to find my destination, I ended in Dublin at the same address where I should have been in Powell. I'm really late now. I checked my phone again and I was able to reach a friend who was asleep, who did not respond. I'm on my own. I began to talk myself out of the destination by saying it's not worth it, go home. The best thing to do is go home. I pick up the phone, I call my sister, and I said, I've been disqualified, I'm late, I'm not going to make it. She said, well, keep trying. I pulled over and there was a gentleman and I asked him, I said, sir, do you know where this building is? And he said, I have no idea. Just look it up on your phone. In other words, everybody has a phone. I can't tell you how many times I actually tried to GPS it on my phone, thinking that the GPS or the navigation system in my car was somehow broke. I finally made it to my destination by the help of that wonderful guy who decided to go over by himself in a corner because he probably thought something's wrong with this woman. He then pulls back to my car and says, I found where you're supposed to be. Follow me. My sister says, give me his license plate. But I began to follow him and he took me right to my destination and then pulled around and came side by side to my car and said, are you sure you'll make it home? And I says, I'm sure that I'll make it home. By this time, I looked like a lunatic to him. What I got out of that, there were several times that I was trying to talk myself out of the destination because the journey was too hard. But having followed through, I reached my destination and there was a reward at the end. The moral to this one is, don't despise the journey. I was able to see some landmarks that I would have otherwise ignored. And I realized in that moment, in those few moments of being lost, that I took in more than I would have taken in had I just gone straight to the journey, to the destination. I'm learning not to despise the journey in the process to the destination.